Every one of you watching this screen, look out.
Anything can happen in the next half hour.
What did I tell you about cartoons?
They've got a lot of brains, and they've got a lot of chutzpah.
Tell me how comic books make you feel, Dave.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Hi, this is Frantz Kantor for ToonTalk, the Australian Cartoon Museum's YouTube channel, and I'm here with
Paul Harvey.
And what have we got today?
Mort DRUCKER. We're going to talk about your hero, Mort DRUCKER.
My hero, okay. 5 decades of his finest works.
5 decades.
With a foreword by Michael J. Fox. This is Mort DRUCKER here. He's probably in his 90s now, still working for MAD magazine. And this is published by Running Press, so run out and get one. This is a really great book. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. So let's get started.
Yeah, he was amazing for me, growing up, looking at his work in MAD and as a caricaturist or a budding caricaturist. Seeing someone that drew, having to do caricatures of someone 10 times or 20 times from all different angles and stuff. Amazing. Probably without reference or finding his own reference.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that sort of puzzled me, because I never saw I could never compare photographs to the reference that he got. So he may have had access to things that we didn't know about. You know, maybe
they'd have to send him the photos.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a wonderful foreword.
There's a foreword by
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah,
where I read this morning, and he said. Many years ago, during an appearance on The Tonight Show, Johnny Carson asked me a question: when did you really know you'd made it in show business? And he said, when Mort DRUCKER drew my head.
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
Fantastic. So that's like, because MAD magazine used to do these spoofs on the latest movies and TV shows, because it was a popular culture magazine. And Mort DRUCKER, there was also Angelo Torres, but Mort DRUCKER did the hero strips. He did the main movie, and quite a few covers apparently too, although I never saw many of those.
Yeah, there's a few in here.
Yeah. So this is like a smattering of his work. It's certainly some of the strips that, well, I was first exposed to him, I think, because I was in love with a black actress on TV called Diane Carroll, and I had the TV Week pin-up, the cover. I put it up on my wall when I was a little kid, 1966 or 65 or whenever it came out. And I just happened to walk into a newsagent and saw a MAD magazine and said, what's this? And I opened it up, and there was a strip on Julia, you know. Right. So, and I could instantly recognize all of the characters, all of the people from the show. And then I thought, this is remarkable stuff. This is really great. Yeah. So this is early work. This is more, looks like it's referencing some of the other MAD cartoonists in layout and the type of design that he did. And then this is an early piece, the National Bannister Sliding Contests. Okay, so these are pictures by Mort DRUCKER, but it's obviously written by one of their staff writers.
Bob and Ray's roving correspondent.
Yeah. The thing about Mort is that he brought a lot of quality to the comics, to MAD magazine, because he had this incredible penchant for zany cartoon exaggeration like Jack Davis, but a bit of a cleaner line, I think. Would you say that? You had a very clean line. I mean, this is a pen line, very sort of economically drawn faces, but the likeness is always there.
Do they show what he works with? It's obviously a fine dip pen or a
I think well, he's got a pencil here.
Yeah, he's got a pencil there.
A blue pencil.
He's putting a bit of colour on.
I would think because of the hair, a lot of the beards and things, you know, they're sort of
These
sharp.
photos are often a classic, though, aren't they, Frantz? Because they say, "Oh, look, just sit in front of that piece and pretend you're working on it, will you?"
Yeah.
But I haven't got. Oh, pick anything up. Here, I've got a pen in my pocket. And
Right.
So you just do the big smile and.
I just love to photograph it with the pen the wrong way round, or just use something that's completely unlikely to use as a material.
Yeah, that's good. A cigarette or something.
Cigarette, yeah. Or you ever see what were these? There was a MAD comic where the interviewer's microphone kept changing all the time. It turned into rubber ducks and things like that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
I
because
have said that.
nobody noticed it. I think they did it on the MAD TV as well.
Of course, in the bathroom.
So these are I can't comment on that because I can't recognise any of the characters. They're obviously politicians or state officials or gangsters or whatever. But Bonanza, this is Bananas, which is a stand-up of Bonanza. You can start to see these beautiful likenesses from all different angles and all different sizes in a comic strip, which is completely unheard of. Never really seen any. I'd never seen anything like this before. And as I said, this was my first exposure to caricature. And although you could look at it and say, well, it's a very safe sort of caricature because proportionally, you know, the likenesses are there, but the way that he's sort of drawn them with just a few lines, you know, this is not a painting. This is not an exploration in capturing a likeness with paint where you've got a lot of light and shade and things to work with. You've only got a few lines.
Yep.
So it's very economic and you've got to be spot on. And these are caricatures, so they're not traced photographs.
And he's created this fantastic likeness
Yeah.
of, what's his character's name?
Hoss.
So
Yeah.
Hoss with these big eyes and a bit bigger than everybody else and the
front
huge
teeth
hat.
missing.
And,
Yeah.
And he's just worked in beautifully.
Yeah. But even like...
From all different angles.
Yeah, but sometimes even just the economic way that he'll just quickly scroll in a face, you know, one of the other brothers, I forget.
And
which
grab
one.
these expressions.
Yes. So he's got like a wealth of cartoon knowledge to bring into the mix. Every bit as talented as Jack Davis.
Yeah.
You know, with the cartoons and the exaggerated shapes and
the
things.
movement.
Yeah, and the movement.
And
There's a lot of movement.
There's a wonderful body with the knife.
Yes.
In the back.
Yeah.
Great attention to detail.
Yeah, and black and white. So you're playing a lot with shadows and contrasts, and a lot of this. What do they call that? Zip tone.
Deep music.
You know, Benday, whatever.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benday. Yeah.
So because it's a caricature, it's a send-up of a TV show. They drag in everything, you know, lots of different references to tropes, Western tropes
Western
and things,
tropes, yeah.
and it just really
And cliches from the show.
yeah. So
And
oftentimes
and just cartooning cliches in general.
Yeah, a penguin with a bow tie,
yeah.
and a waistcoat. So, you know, it's a lot of these references are not they're not spoken of in the script. He just throws them in as extras. You know, like the penguin's not there in the script. He threw it in as extras. So this is, I mean, also, look, he's working to a script, right? He doesn't have a choice of saying, oh, I don't want a word balloon there. I'll lose that joke.
It has to be there.
It has to be there.
Yeah.
So he's,
you wonder about that, whether there's a war, you know, with Tom Richmond. I think that all
Yes.
the time. Whether he's constantly fighting with the writers, saying, you know,
yes,
let the
I've got an idea for a
stand
gag.
their own.
Yeah, just do it. Let's not have any word balloons here.
No, do it yourself.
Exactly, yeah. This is, you know, sometimes you'll get in Mad Magazine, they'll take something like West Side Story and then do a spin-off onto something totally different, nothing to do. Yeah, the Khrushchev was like a, you know, as we know, he's
the Russians dancing.
Yeah, the Russian premier in the 60s, and this was a very, very tense time. So this magazine, this comic, it came out at a time when there was nothing funny about Khrushchev. So it's a very, very testy sort of, you know, comedic excuse to involve yourself in politics. I mean, there's Castro. So you know, this is about the Bay of Pigs.
Your way of dealing with the Cold War and having a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, but as we learn later, there's nothing funny about this at all, you know.
Yeah,
so
well,
it was really,
Kennedy.
Yeah, beautiful Kennedy too.
Nothing funny about Mao.
Yeah. These are sort of like, you know, you see cartoons like
Nixon.
of Hitler by cartoonists who make him look like a buffoon or something, and then we learn later on that he was a mass murdering megalomaniac.
I think he had a hit squad looking for Lowe, didn't he?
Yes, that's it. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. So, you know, we won't... a lot of these people, there's Sinatra. I mean, you'll recognise the odd person.
You feel so grown up laughing at politics too. Like you're reading Mad magazine and laughing
exactly.
at politics and what's going on in the world.
And you mention it to someone and say, how do you know about that?
Yeah.
What, do you read the paper? No, I read Mad magazine.
I read Mad,
But you can imagine in America where everybody would have read, you know, Mad magazine would have been such a big thing. To actually have a comic or cartoons affect your general knowledge or you know, your knowledge of politics, of current affairs is created by Mad magazine. And this is a perfect example. It's just so brilliant.
I wonder at the time.
Powerful.
Once again, I wonder if the politicians at the time said, "Hey, we got a vehicle here to get some voters.
Yeah,
we'll get them when they're young."
Well, I mean, Khrushchev probably, you know, if that or I think there may be a photograph of Castro with Mad magazine, because they used to in the front they had celebrities holding the magazine. You know, sometimes they would have made it up, but others they were real.
Look at Connery.
Yeah, so even tiny drawing, tiny caricature of Connery, and this is probably, I think they're almost like tropes at the time, because all of the actresses in the 60s look very similar. With their hairdos and their makeup and stuff.
From all those ads.
Yes. Yeah.
Mad Men.
You know, sometimes you'll recognise a character if again, his take on women, you know, were based on, like, it's almost like a trope, like an impression. So if that looks, it reminds me a little bit of Elkie Summer. If it's Elkie Summer, it's a very safe picture, very safe caricature of Elkie Summer, almost like a symbol now of a pretty girl from the 60s, you know.
Well, Michael J. Fox in his forward finishes with that, and, you know, as a kid it did this for me, and I felt grown up, and I was able to as a Canadian I was able to, you know, see what was happening in the States and all that sort of stuff, and he said and he drew the women sexy. Yes, he did. So as a kid that was another big thing for Michael J. Fox to read.
Well, the main readers of Mad magazine would be teenage boys. So really, you're hitting on, you know,
hitting your marks.
Yeah, you're hitting your marks. No, without.
Back in the days before. Me Too movement.
Well, but even then, it's not offensive. They're not offensively stylized or symbolized. You know, they're still beautiful and they still have individuality, but not very much. They've got that sort of simplicity and streamlinedness, I guess, that you'd get from 1960s.
Jimmy on the phone.
So, this is Batsman, which was a stand-up of Batman, 1966. You're getting into the era where this is probably the second or third caricature strip that I saw of his. Yeah, Burt Ward. Yeah, it's a good one. That's probably... Could that be? No, that's not.
Earthy Kid.
Is she there? Where?
No. I thought that's who you meant.
No. So you look at because you've got these masks on, so you can sort of exaggerate them a little bit more, because you're only looking at the masks now rather than, you know, is that Adam West's lips?
Still got a pretty good likeness here.
Yeah, when they're in repose, but you know.
I do remember as a kid thinking, wow, you know, how does he do that?
Yeah.
How is he drawing that guy so many times and keeping that likeness.
I guess it's just he's just good.
He's just good.
He's
That's
just
right.
good. So look, even the caricature of a slightly caricatured Batmobile. There's just so much in there. And he loves Bender. He loves this zip tone. So he'll use it, and the way that he uses it is to construct this drama, this contrasts of light and shade, just to have things pop. He's just so good at everything. He'll look at something like the cow, the cape itself. He'll look at something and draw it, and occasionally you'll see that's a beautifully drawn picture.
Oh, but that's just the use of the grey and the black.
Yeah,
it's just wonderful.
Yeah, it just feels like a cape. That's more exaggerated than the show because he never had a cape with so many folds. But he just put it in there because he's good. So there's a lot of.
It's a shame
there's a lot of inventiveness in his work.
They did that so small.
Yeah, we can't really pick it out.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to pick it out.
There's too many. There's Dean Martin. There's the same olds in there. But
It's what to really see.
yeah, so if you get this book, you can
There's the key.
pick it out. There's the key. Yeah. So we won't linger on that one. We'll go into the rest of the thing. Politicians. He loved politicians.
Ladybird.
Yes, which is Lyndon Baines Johnson's wife. They try to make her as popular as Kennedy's wife, but it never worked. So again, this is overwritten. This now has got a song, so he's got to put these cartoons, these illustrations around the text, and the text is the important thing in the narrative. But he'll throw in a few things like just for the fun of it. I mean, this is so zany.
Pulling the knife out of his back.
Yeah, this is so zany. The way that he does his little characters, and even the likeness is still there, even though the character's so small. It's just really good. And look at the iconic signature.
So how big did he work?
Looking at this, it looks like it's
A2.
between A2 and A3.
Yeah, well, I'd say A1, A2.
Quite big.
Very big.
Yeah, you can't go too big because then everything sort of closes down and becomes too much work for you to do anyway. The lines sort of close in on each other and reduces the effectiveness of the pen.
Yep.
But so politics. He loved politics.
Just the play with
so well.
With the positive and negative.
Yeah, but he made them look so beautifully fluid. Those beautiful. Just a few lines, and he's got him. It's great. John Wayne, of course, he did John Wayne for True Fat, which is a stand-up of True Grit. This was an Academy Award-winning film. Yep. On the time, and I had read this.
Sympathy Oscar, wasn't it?
Well, I never saw this because this was an adult-rated film.
Yeah, right.
So I would read that. This is the thing about Mad Magazine. They would do things like The Exorcist or something, which no kid could read. But you could read the comic. Yeah. So you
and
understand
be up with what's going on.
And be up with what's going on. Yeah.
And listening to the parents' conversation.
Exactly, yeah. So you could know all about politics and know all about these R-rated films, even though you never saw it. You're just a little kid. What would you know? Well, you read Mad. You read Mort DRUCKER. So, these are... Glenn Campbell, yeah. So beautiful little tiny caricatures which are within the narrative of the story. Yep. They give so much more. Someone like Angelo Torres would do a beautiful comic strip, no problem, and they would all look like the characters, but they don't have all of this great invention of movement and acting, performance of the characters. They're all there as likenesses. Yeah. And he gets so much movement in it and so much performance
and expressions.
But
the composition's wonderful, and I know a lot of that takes care of itself as you absolutely great.
Yeah.
But the pages just look so beautiful. And they work so lovely.
But like Jack Davis's zany caricature, not zany caricature, zany cartoon. Jack Davis doesn't do good caricatures, but he does beautiful cartoons. You know, really pushing that comedic effect.
And wonderful,
and he has
natural composition of his work.
Yeah, but he has this. So all the characters have life, every panel. Whereas Angelo Torres would hit the mark as you know, to the likeness. It would look like the actor, but it wouldn't have this energy. So you know, this is why I loved him. I just adored his stuff because not only was the likeness there, but it was so funny.
And such an important scene in the movie too.
I mean, he'd go crazy. Look, there's a character on a pig. So he'd go crazy with you know, the little background characters. Because remember,
little in jokes.
Yeah, little in jokes. Remember, Mad Magazine was just chock-a-block full of stuff. In the borders around the pictures, you had little Sergio Aragones making cartoon comments. You know,
fill your hands, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. So he would likewise fill out little things, like you get little stuff that references to other things outside of the film.
And I love that they didn't cut corners. They
No.
put it all in there.
They put it all in there.
Even if it was a half joke, it went in there.
Well, that was the beauty of the editor. The editor of
'em go.
Mad Magazine just let them go, and they just went. You know, these are lovely characters.
Terrific.
There's Uncle Sam,
Yeah.
Kissinger, and you know, a lot of these people.
The chimp from the
Yes,
rocket launcher.
the rocket launchers. Yeah. So these are all people we don't know. We you know.
Look at this guy.
Yeah. So I don't know. That could be somebody, or it could be just.
And the dark suit to make him stand out of the
Yeah, yeah. Well, he I mean, he did a lot of these washes as well, but he had this beautiful lyrical line work that you know, this cross hatching and stuff that gave it a really organic feel. So very much influenced by how Jack Davis was doing his pen work. So, you know, beautiful.
Terrific.
Bendy shapes and cross hatching.
Just there.
Yeah. But like even that as a cross hatcher, if you were to look at that, I don't know if you can pick that up. I might just zoom in. That Spiro Agnew, that, you know, the way that those opposing chisel shapes of the pen, you know, they're just incredible, just great. So it's a mixture of beautiful likenesses and loose pen work, you know. So it's a really a testament to the just the mastery of the pen, the mastery of the craft. When I looked at this, I could see even the squiggles, the looseness of it, combined with the tightness in the areas of small, intricate details, and then broad shapes and things. All of those things working together, it just, you know, told me this guy knows what. This guy knows how to hold a pen.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So it's just, you know, the inventiveness of the other elements that he brings in to tell the stories, you know, it's just incredible stuff.
And the heavy blacks, just your eye just sort of flows through.
Yeah, it just looks so beautiful on the page.
And then this beautiful white area around the nose.
Yes, the contrast between, you know, the white and the black, and the judicious use of the pen. So it's not overly rendered. There's you know, when he doesn't need a background, he won't put a background, so that you just sort of, your eyes just go to the most important elements. This is the setup of The Godfather, obviously. There's all the main actors.
Well, once again, an R-rated movie that the kids wouldn't have been able to see, but everybody's talking about it, so they get to get to keep up with what's going on.
So you can tell people, you know, who killed who, and
like I remember as a kid, you know, people talking, oh, they put the horse's head in the bed. What? They put the horse's head in the bed.
Yeah.
What?
There's that scene. Yeah.
Although it's not the horse's head.
Yeah. So you kind of reading this, you can sort of get the whole. You don't need to watch the movie. This is better than the movie.
Better than the movie.
Much better than the movie. So yeah, he's got a lot of energy.
Sonny.
Yeah, the Sonny gets blasted. So there he is with
Lots of holes.
cheese, Swiss cheesed cartoon effect. So all of those holes, there's no blood. They're just Swiss cheese holes with depth. It's good.
This I do not forgive.
But yeah, all of these guys he'll throw in, like looking at...
And the likenesses are fantastic.
They are, yeah. Ephraim Zimbalist. So they're, and they're just thrown in there. Occasionally he'll do like little kids and things, like they don't look like anybody in the movie, but they're just thrown in because he has that sensibility. He can do these cartoons and he can fill the whole page with a world, with a population, and each one would be individually obnoxious. It's such an incredible imagination and ability to be funny.
And parents loved him because he kept kids entertained for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah,
and
well, Mad Magazine's not a quick read. It's not like Spider-Man. You've got to pore over this for over several days because they pour so much into it.
Sergio Aragones.
Yeah, American Confetti, which is a send-up of American graffiti.
Yep.
Now you've got people like Jimmy Stewart in there.
I don't remember he was in there, but
he wasn't.
Yeah.
This is the thing. He'll smash stuff into the story just for effect.
My name is Jimmy. I'm not really in the picture.
Yeah.
But for the change, I thought somebody out there might like to see a nice old familiar face.
A familiar
on the screen.
face, exactly.
And they went on to become very familiar.
Yeah.
Ron Howard.
But look how he treats the women, the beautiful lines and the butts and the breasts and the beautiful curves and things. They're individual and they're sexy at the same time. They're not they're not just regular symbols, So a lot of the cartoons that you see in here are done by not in his strip, but in Mad Magazine, are done by consummate cartoonists, and they have a sort of a style, so the people sort of fit that style. Like what's the guy who did the Mad Fold-ins at the back? Him.
Yeah.
So he has a style, so the people have to fit the style. But he'll do caricatures of these, background characters, these girls, and they just look so incredible.
Put me on the spot. I didn't know that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll do him next.
Yeah, we'll do him next.
What if there's a book on those folders?
Well, there's probably a book on who is that? It's not Jack Ricard. It's you'll have to put down comments who that guy is from Mad Magazine.
Ringo Starr.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Ringo Starr.
No, that's Ringo Starr.
That's Ringo Starr. So he'll throw people in, he'll just do that. That's what he does. That's what he does best. This is one of Mort's covers. He didn't do many covers, but you can start to see the Jack Davis influence on the shoes. Very, very much. Well, again, Jack Davis is a beautiful watercolorist, so Mort used to do these watercolors. I feel not as competent as Jack Davis.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But still, very beautifully done, very nicely done. Jack Davis was an incredible watercolor artist. We'll have to do a Jack Davis.
Yeah, I have Jack Davis books.
Have you? We'll have to do that.
Lovely.
So
there's Jimmy again.
Yeah.
All the old actors.
Yeah, look at that.
Wonderful. Fred Astaire.
Yeah, it's Bing.
Lovely.
Red Skelton. Bilko. So he'll throw these in. This is what I'm doing. I'm pointing out. Oh, I know him. Oh, I know him. Yeah. Oh, kids would do this in the 60s. They're pointing. Oh, I know him. So it makes you jump into the comic.
And he doesn't cut, as I said before, he doesn't cut corners. I mean,
he
draws them all.
Yeah.
He draws them all.
Yeah.
Look at this. Wonderful.
Yeah, look,
That's
Judy Garland.
Mickey Rooney, isn't that?
Yeah, Mickey Rooney. Look, these are tiny little,
if he's looked at,
characters on the page.
And gone, it's...
Oh, I'm sure he would be referencing it, but, he has his own fluid pen style.
Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah, some incredible stuff. So, there's Judy again. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Again, what can you say? It's like he brought something to this field that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
We had Angelo Torres for years. We had other artists, Jack Ricard, or some of the other artists before him had. They did these little movie skits But until he was involved, they were very safe areas, safe properties.
Yeah.
When he came on board, they became these incredible...
I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah, that was
And
so
doing
good.
what he was doing. And as I say, I'd love to know his reference, and he was probably going from just film shorts and these sorts of things, but he's made
His
up.
process would be very, very good.
He made a lot of it up as he went along.
Yeah, but then you can see telltale signs like that girl's outline. There's telltale signs that he's referencing some reference there. It's just too good. It's too intricate. You see, even the background characters. Angelo Torres, you lose likenesses on background characters.
And I'd never...
his background characters are spot on.
I'd always remember this. Like, didn't see the movie, but always remember this.
Pulling out all the
everything
crap
flying out. And then when I did see
shark.
the movie...
Yeah.
And they
But you knew what was going on.
Yeah, I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
See, this was M-rated, I think, in Australia.
Right.
So I wasn't able to see this without my parents.
What was that, 76?
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the theatre with my legs up on the seat
Yeah.
because you didn't want to have them dangling in the cinema.
Because if they see it dangling, then they'll know that you're a kid.
No, because there's a shark.
Oh, is it in
We're
the
watching
in the
sharks and
cinema?
we're pulling our feet up and keeping them tight because in the movie there's people with dangling legs and they're getting bitten, mate.
Babies.
I struggled swimming in a swimming pool for years after.
Did you get to see what was it, Earthquake with the sensory round?
Yep.
They put something under the floor
Yep.
to make it shake. Did you ever get that? That was
in a
fun.
country town. They just you just had some bloke walk down the aisle and shake your chair.
Okay. Yeah, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest I think was definitely R-rated. There's a lot of
Great.
scary stuff in there.
Yeah,
So
all-time great
look,
movies.
oh my God, look at these guys.
That's DeVito, isn't it?
Yeah.
The
So,
chief.
there's the nurse,
Look at
Ratchet.
even the nurse Ratchet, but that's spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. She
Yeah.
is spot on.
And these are little characters in the background which you don't have to be
Yeah.
spot on, but he's done it because he is who he is.
Yep.
I mean, look, even the expression in some of these.
wonderful.
This guy's a famous B player from TV.
Billy Burbot.
Yeah. So I mean, she didn't have very many range of expressions. She only had the deadpan expression, but he's just used that and has played this against the other characters in the story. It's just everything. It's just so it works so beautifully. It's just so great. It's just so clever.
Scatman Crothers.
Yeah. Where? Oh, it is too. Yeah. Oh,
They're John Lloyd.
yeah. Brilliant. So the whole film,
Isn't that wonderful?
you just read this and you
Those
get
mad
it.
eyes went on
Yeah.
to be the professor in
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Yeah. And Addams Family movies. It's good stuff. John Travolta.
Look at the work in that.
So again, look at these boots, these shoes. I look at these and I think, yep, that's Jack Davis, definitely. You got these long, flat, slappy shoes happening. The shoes themselves are almost caricatures. But he'll put things in there, the sashaying of these the women in his strips.
Brother the Priest.
Yeah,
Didn't notice that before. Andy Gibb Pizza.
yeah.
Saturday Night Fever.
Andy Gibb, the Gibb brothers did the soundtrack. Yeah. So lots of it's just an incredible amount of all of these characters. They're in there in the movie, but they're not the major
He
stars.
celebrates drawing everybody. And
Yeah.
He doesn't cut his fingers. He wants to do everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. He loves doing the caricature.
Yep. Just so cool.
Super duper man.
So Super Duper Man, obviously, Super Duper Man was a classic stand-up of Superman in Mad magazine in the 1950s. So they just reused the title. And this is the stand-up of the Superman movie. Some of the people are not even in the Superman movie, are they? Or maybe they are. Oh, they are in the on the home planet in Krypton.
On the home, yes.
Yeah, Glenn Ford.
It's Brando.
Yeah, there's Brando. There's Khrushchev, isn't it? Looks like.
Could be.
Yeah. Maybe. You'd have to sort of look at this and sort of pick out all of these characters and what they sort of reference. Yeah, look, there's a caricature of Reeves himself as Clark Kent. There's a beautiful one of Kidder.
Yeah, wonderful.
That sort of thin lip, that overbite she had.
Passed away last year.
Yeah. He'll play with classic shots. That's a classic shot. That's a classic publicity shot from the movie. So he'll play with these things as well. You know, there's a lot of
yeah, so he throws them in like the car on the side of the road here.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, that's it. Yeah. This is awesome. So Christopher Reeve's obviously a very, very handsome, you know, stylistically perfect man, but he'll get pull these beautiful shapes out of those features. It's a lot of fun. The main
publicity shots here, he does use them, doesn't he? He throws them
here and there. He'll pepper it. Yeah, he'll get it in there. Yeah.
Turning back time.
Yes.
Before Cher.
So he started to get. Sometimes you'll get these more detailed features into some of the women caricatures, the girl characters that he did. Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful line in the world here, just terrific.
It's good stuff. Raging Bull send up.
Favourite movies.
Yeah. I've never seen this film, but I don't need to now that
you don't need to.
No.
Oh well, you need to because it's one of the great films.
Yeah, black and white. It was shot in black and white.
Yep.
There's probably references to that there.
Yeah.
There's he'll go into these beautifully rendered watercolors, black ink watercolors in here. So he'd break away from zip tone and use these sort of delicate washes.
And they're just sometimes some of the greatest photos of the fights, you know, with the heads and the all the different angles and directions and expressions and the way he's used the colour and
but look what he's got to work with. Look at all the dialogue. Look at all the dialogue.
He's got to get all that in.
He's got to get all that in.
And then create such a beautiful piece and have more drawings down the bottom.
Yeah. So, and this is a double page spread. The opening page. You know. So, yeah, it's fantastic stuff.
Telling the writers to back off.
Look how he gets the action in there.
Yeah, wonderful.
It's funny and violent at the same time.
And the wonderful angles here.
Yes.
Which the movie's full of. So you've got to see the movie, man.
Is this Scorsese or?
Yeah, Scorsese. Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I love this, you know, the inventiveness of these
De Niro
talking. These are like talking heads. But they're referencing the film, so they have to happen in some. It has to unfold the film. It has to tell the whole story of the film.
Yeah.
So these are like better than storyboards.
It's a great line here. Next to you, he is a college professor. It's Rocky.
So there's another one of his beautiful watercolors. This is from the Popeye movie with Williams? Robin Williams, yeah. There's some of more politics again. You love politics. So these are guys, I can't remember who they are anymore. There's Reagan and a few of the other. He had a Quinn or something.
Anthony Quinn.
No, the politician.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
The one in charge of the army. So, I'm dating myself here. I did a lot of stuff for the Herald of Reagan. There's tons and tons of stuff. Oh, wow.
Oh, isn't that terrific?
Yeah. This is MASH now.
It's sunny.
Yeah. So, he was responsible for the main caricature story or main film send-up or TV send-up in MAD magazine, and then Angelo Torres or some of the other artists, Marie Severin I think was one of the earlier ones, they're responsible for the second one. So that, not the star movie, not the hit movie, but the second one. So they had this usually in every film, in every Mad magazine. So he would tackle the big one, like the rehash of the Jedi, and the others would. That's a beautiful shot of her.
Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah. Oh God. This is a take on the
Muppets, the Frank Oz characters.
Yeah.
The
That's it. Yeah.
Great light and shade in this one. The great blacks and.
Well, he's got a lot of stuff to work with here.
Fantastic.
It's beautiful. Jabba.
I do remember
Rancor.
it almost being a shame when they went to colour.
It's maybe too much information with these, because you'd lose the drama of this.
Look at it.
Definitely.
Wonderful.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's almost like Alex Toth looking at the contrasts, the light and shade, the chiaroscuro. So cool. Not afraid. Oh, that looks like a hero shot.
Ad shot.
Yeah. One of the production illustrations or something.
It's fantastic when he finally takes his helmet off.
Yes. So he'll play with a lot of this stuff. You'll see these things. It's just, occasionally you'll see some really, really cool stuff. But sometimes you'll see references, because he sort of, they're in the same stable of artists. They're in the same sort of era as Jack Davis. So you'll see a lot of that energy happening in the characters. Yeah.
Gremlins,
a lot of that.
Which I noticed they're remaking.
Yeah. They're doing a lot of remakes. But he'll fill things in.
Yeah.
Decorate the shot uniquely. So really, really funny. Mad magazine, like going back to Will Elder's days, and you can see Will Elder's Mad influences in Lil Annie Fanny and Playboy, early Playboys in the 60s. He'd fill out the background with elements just for fun, nothing to do with the story.
Yeah,
just for you could pick it out and have fun with it. It's the same thing with Mad magazine. It's a slow read. It's not a fast read. So you've got to pore over these panels, and I think that's why.
And you can come back to it and
can
see things that you haven't seen, and come back to it years later and see things that you didn't see.
Well, yeah, I still have the Lost Up in Space comic. I was a big Lost in Space fan. I still have that today, and I occasionally I'll go over those pages, marveling at the ease to which you can get these likenesses, these caricatures done so beautifully. So here's the family ties.
So Michael J. Fox being drawn for the first time.
Yes.
And he's made it.
Yep. So this was an enormously popular show. There's Michael starting to come out. It's almost like he's finding him here. So he's very kid-like.
Yeah.
In the earlier drawings.
Yeah, he hasn't sort of got him, has he?
No, he hasn't. It's still kid-like. It's still very sort of a symbol of a kid.
Meredith Baxter Bernie.
Yeah. So, but he'll come back to him obviously with, Back to the Future, things like that. Rocky, good stuff. But he's known for this. And you can go over each and every one of these, and they're very, very inventive. They almost tell stories on their own, Some of these are nothing to do with the script. So, yeah, it's good stuff. This is another one. His watercolors are getting a little bit better. This is sort of more sort of gradual and less acrylic-like, more watercolor.
Yeah.
More attention to leaving the pencil alone, which was part of Jack Davis's, the beauty of his style. He had a very transparent style.
Hannah and her sickos.
Yeah. I haven't seen this.
Hannah and her sickos. I watched it recently.
Yeah. So these are movies that I wouldn't have watched, but still you could really appreciate them in Mad magazine and sort of get it, because you sort of the characters tell the story much better than the film. Yeah, it's nice. But you see some of the the Jack Davis influence in a lot of these things, the way that he'll draw shoes, for example, or a lot of the shapes of legs and
the
arms.
end of shoes. Square toe.
Yeah. Schwarzenegger. Some more watercolor work.
Colour?
Yeah. It's beautifully done, but I don't think has the same impact as the Jack Davis stuff. Yeah.
Still great caricature.
Beautiful caricatures.
Catches them all.
Yeah.
Bob Newhart.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Stand By Me.
Stephen King. That's a fantastic piece. It's terrific.
Yeah, look at that. So you'll throw things in there out of left field. Just, these things here.
Yeah,
so
lovely.
do you pick them up? You just pick them up. It's beautiful. Gags of leeches.
It's real Phoenix, isn't it?
Yeah, and he'll do these little, they're funny little scenes. They got, what's that, pogo characters or something. These beautiful little landscapes and things, because he's got a lot of dialogue to get through. You got to have a lot of word bullets. And
look at the dialogue through here.
Yeah,
it's just like full on.
Yeah, and it gets worse. Some of them are set to song.
He makes it work. Yes, I know.
So some of them much worse. He'll make it work. Yeah, 3 Men and a Baby. That's quite a hard job actually to do. Well, obviously not for you, but for caricatures. I think he's got to reference a movie poster, doesn't he, for that?
Yeah.
So there's a movie poster that's something like that.
Like that, yeah.
It's good.
LA Law.
Yep. So TV shows as well. This was in the 80s. So you got a career spanning from the early 60s.
And he'd draw these people
to today.
Sorry. And he'd draw these people over and over and over for the.
Yes.
Look at that. He's just. Recreated this.
And Susan Day.
Yeah, Susan Day.
Good.
The Partridge Family.
Yes. Yeah. Good stuff.
Cheers.
Yeah. Recreated his beers. There's the main characters. He'd throw in things not in the script.
Yeah.
W.C. Fields, right? I don't know who that is, but it's very. That's a very Jack Davis moment. Very sort of scribble.
It's a bit scarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
So yeah, some of them. Well, that's a good watercolor. That's
awesome.
Not bad.
And great characters, Andre.
Yeah.
No Hope.
Yeah.
Randy Savage. Terrific.
Yeah, gorgeous. Beautiful women when you draw.
Batman, good. Light dark.
So this is the film Batman from the 90s.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, actually 80s, wasn't it? Yeah. The Jack Nicholson Joker. This is how he treated it. So comparing that to the TV show one, of course, you've got a lot more blacks and things to play with. I wonder if he did.
Which was the movie, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a much darker theme, obviously. That's why they didn't call this what's his name? The 60s Batman.
The actor.
Yeah.
Burt Ward and
him from Family Guy.
Adam West.
Adam West. There you go.
This is wonderful. That's a promotional poster.
And there's the iconic Alfred. So that's based on the poster. Whenever they did this and they got close to the poster but something different, it really worked well for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So this is getting towards the end of the MAD heyday, because MAD was sort of like read by everybody, and now it's sort of getting to the point where we've seen that with
1992.
Yeah, so the 90s it kind of dropped off in popularity, or the audience changed. I can't really say if they're less popular, but I presume that the audience has changed and there's less readership. Well, people have grown up, yeah.
But
People
I
have grown
suppose
up,
the audience
move on.
it keeps finding a new audience with kids.
Yeah.
But I suppose just getting into the 90s, your kids are there's other things.
So these are a little bit simpler. A lot of the panels, I think, are a little bit simpler in this one. So you're getting into the late Mort DRUCKER. There's a nice pencil, watercolor pencil. Yeah. So whenever he gets a chance to put a little bit of effort into the figure work, he'll do some really beautiful stuff. A little bit more time, I guess, into it.
That's a blunt.
Yeah. So this is a great book. So this is quite a smattering of his career. Getting into the Clinton era now. Okay, these are some of his iconic covers of the 90s, 80s and 90s.
Cheap gimmick, 4 different covers. Cheap gimmick.
Yeah.
That's
good
Rodman.
stuff. Yeah.
It's a beauty.
Yeah.
They started to take into consideration more than just movies and television shows, and then started looking at pop culture in general and
yes,
how big Dennis Rodman was.
Crazy Cat, Officer Pup. So he's he's still got that sense of humor where he'll pop in things in the background and
Like
stuff.
Osama bin Laden.
Yes.
And then famous detectives.
Yeah, Dick Tracy and Columbo.
RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop. Yeah. Kojak, yeah. Yeah, Barney Miller. Good stuff. So these are like, because it's a pop culture magazine, throwing as many things in there to please a wider audience, I guess, is a good thing. But obviously you got to get it. So you got to get. They stopped short of putting in the Untouchables. I don't think the readership would understand what the hell that was. So there's a lot of stuff.
Style's changed a little.
It has. It's become a little bit more simple, rougher, perhaps. Yeah, as maybe he's run out of energy.
Maybe.
You get a feeling that he's run out of energy, but then, he'll still do these great covers.
Very clever.
Yeah. So these covers work really well when they're like you're referencing the movie poster, but you also have to be very inventive with the way that you show Newman. Hello, Newman. Yeah, you show the iconic character of Alfred E. Yeah, Yellow Mile, which is it's another dark. Yeah, the Green Mile. It's a very dark story. There's another.
Mr. Jingles.
No, what's the mouse? Can't remember the name of the films. Michael J. Fox did the voice.
Oh yeah, that's Stuart Little.
Yeah, Stuart Little. So that was at the same time. So at the end of his tenure, really, at the end of his career, this is more pencil rather than watercolor. So it's not a. It's interesting, but I don't think it's like his best stuff from the early days where he poured a lot of time, a lot of energy into it. So you're getting into, we can speed through these, I think, don't you think?
Yeah.
So some of the 90s ones, I don't really understand a lot of that stuff.
Bit of Harry Potter.
Yeah, Castaway. Harry Potter, there you go. Mort DRUCKER. So, Harry Plotter. Okay, so he's had a little bit of fun with this. These are
sorry ass story.
Yeah. This is really good. There's Peanuts. Yeah. So this is what I mean. He'll throw these in because pop culture allows you to do that. You just have to throw in these. There's Goofy, Mickey. And Tarzan. Disney's Tarzan. You just throw in. He's just throwing in these things in there just to have fun, and nothing to do with the script at all. So that's
Jordan.
That's what he's really, really good at. And it's really formative for Mad Magazine because once one artist does it, they all try to do the same thing.
Which is Tom Richmond did.
Yeah,
Threw it to him and said, "This is what we need.
exactly.
This is what people love."
Yeah,
But he takes it to the next level with the introduction of colour, full colour.
yeah. So again, I think it's a struggle really to fill in underneath the words. The words are the most important thing of the strip because they're the things you're working towards.
Not from
Not from our point of view.
Not from our point of view at all.
No, I'd rather read the pictures.
Yeah, absolutely.
So more TV shows that are
Osama bin Laden gets another
another
gig.
Guernsey, another
And then you've got Crockett
Mingle.
Tubbs.
Yeah, from Miami Vice from the early days. So you throw in little bits and pieces, little side. That's the sort of thing. These sort of party scenes where you get characters saying things. Again, this is scripted. This comes from the days of Will Elder, doing those party scenes. And if you have a look at Little Annie Fanny in American Playboy in the 60s and 70s, the comic strip there is just full of that. On the first page, celebrity scenes. So, yeah.
Tom Cruise dancing on the couch. That's fantastic, George Bush.
Yeah. Oh, he did that too.
It's awesome.
Great. That's a good one.
That's really terrific.
Huh, that's really nice. So yeah, you're
Great
getting
show.
into films now. I don't know anything about
Deadwood's a
Deadwood.
television series, great show.
Yeah, okay. Take
And
your
now
word for it.
American
Don't watch
Idol.
that.
Now we're coming into the world of reality television.
Yeah. Here we go. It's House, I guess. House. Dr. Hibbert from The Simpsons. So the pop culture references are getting more modern. A lot of the older ones are dropping away. So he'll up the ante and put in things that
What an
he's
amazing
watching now.
A lot of work in this book.
Yeah,
Hours and hours and hours of horror.
I know. It's a beautiful testament to his career, really.
And we complained about this
particularly.
not being big enough.
Well, here
and
it is.
Here it is. And now it is big enough.
Popping out
Popping
in
out.
all
Let's
its
turn the page.
grandeur. There we go.
There it is.
And you can
All these wonderful
it's
characters
probably perforated so you can tear it off and
And the
stick it up.
keys there, so we can Sinatra, Dean Martin.
Yep.
It's a great piece.
Yeah. Very, very
A lot
cool.
of fun.
Well, that's awesome.
Beautiful.
I'll let
book.
you fold that. It's your
Oh.
book. Go
Well
back and
done.
little squish it up.
There he is.
All right, there he is. Yeah, he's a great guy.
They live
So
on
I'm
Long Island in New York.
particularly interested in his earlier stuff. That's the stuff that I collect.
Yeah.
I have Pinterest pins of his work, and as I said, it's the first, my first love of caricature was inspired by Mort DRUCKER and seeing Julia and Dr. Smith and
Yeah.
Mr. Spock and things like that. Yeah, so that's it. This has been great. Thanks, Paul.
No worries. All good.
We'll catch you next time.
Good fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for the sour persimmons, cousin.